Thank you guys so much for coming, and happy National Camera Day. So today we're going to dive on into a very fun chat about vlogging, specifically travel vlogging, because that's what I love to do. So welcome to Canon's Get Up and Go event. This is the last session of the day. Save the best for last, right? Today we're talking about how to film your selfie. It's going to be so busy. I'm Jules of TravelingJules. It's a travel blog and travel storytelling adventure over there. I also have a video production resource called The Video Hustle, which has all kinds of gear and tricks and tips. You're going to love it over there. Today, we're going to talk about so many things, specifically how to get started, how, must-have gear, what kinds of stuff we might want to have in our bag, essentials for vlogging, and confidence-boosting tips. So we're going to be pretty busy today. That's me. I'm Jules, TravelingJules. Love, camera gear, pink, and girly things, and lots of colors, right? I travel all over the world, faraway places like Morocco. I've been to Uzbekistan, which is honestly probably I didn't even know it was a country until I was there. So many things to discover, and that's how I like it. Also, I've been to South Korea, which is actually where I was born. But, I grew up here in Colorado. So I've done many adventures here. So I promise you this, you don't have to go super far away to have an adventure. I've had many adventures just here in my backyard, from snowboarding. I've seen almost every ski resort in this state, to summertime adventures, all the hidden off the beaten path things to do. So don't be scared if you don't travel super far away, there's still lots of stories to talk about, all right? Getting started, we're gonna start from the beginning with vlogging. And I'll tell you what, almost always in every video production, we start with the pitch. And the pitch in vlogging is to yourself. Should I do this story? Almost 100 stories that I think of, I only have time, and I only have, not every story is a good story. So you definitely have to weed through all of the possibilities to pick out the best stories, because you're going to spend a lot of time and energy on all your stories. Then we're going to talk about producing. Okay, so the next thing, producing is like, imagine your video is like a recipe, right? And you get to decide what ingredients are going into the recipe. So, am I going to feature this ziplining activity? Should I go to this restaurant? Should we go to the scenic vista, right? You get to decide what are those key ingredients, and that is producing. Also, something you want to know about is that producing is also problem solving. So you're constantly thinking, okay, how do I get from A to B? How long does it take? If I get there, is it going to be crowded? Do I need a jacket? All the kinds of things come in this very important step of producing. Before you get there, we set ourselves up for success, okay? So do you want to get there when the restaurant is busy or when it's empty? I don't know. Depends on what your story is, right? The next thing is shooting, hosting and shooting. If you're on camera, like me, if you're in this room, you're on camera. This is my favorite part, because you're in the action. You get to have the experiences, and you get to live vicariously. You get to put everything on camera, and people who get to watch get to live vicariously. So this is a super exciting part, being in the field. But you also have to be very flexible. You have to be willing to roll with the punches, endure the heat or the cold, or, walk the miles and miles it might take to get the story. But that's what makes it so fun, is because you get to experience it. So this is one of my favorite parts of the process. Now, the next step is post-production, writing and editing. Some people love this, some people hate it. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love editing, because I have control of the story. I get to put the things that I don't like into the trash, the things that I tried that didn't work, gone. The things that I love, I get to make myself look like a hero with the skills of an editor, right? So I definitely recommend spending time learning how to edit, because you have complete control when you know how to move all the buttons, okay? Finally, sharing. Sharing your content is really important, because we are now the distribution. We have to get eyeballs on our content to tell our story, to get comments from friends. So definitely don't forget all of these parts of the process. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, oh my God, how do I get started? Well, practice, practice, practice. I actually believe that not only just doing, like, you can watch a movie or a YouTube video on vlogging, you can read a book or an article, but it's not the same than taking that camera and putting it in front of you, and that little moment where your heart starts to jitter just a little bit and you're like, oh my God, I'm on camera, what do I say? That is the kind of practice that we need to really get comfortable with vlogging. And watch yourself. Go home, put that tape in there, and it's painful sometimes, but you have to watch yourself to know what's any good and what's not good. And then you can improve on that. It's just like being a football player or being a dancer. You watch videos of yourself and then, oh, I thought I was being loud, but I actually wasn't being loud. Or, wow, I say all the time, right? These are the things that you discover after the moment is over and you're watching it and you're like, huh, I thought I had energy, but I actually felt like really monotone. So the video does not lie. And it's two-dimensional. So to jump out of the screen, sometimes you have to be a little bigger, right? Just smile a little bigger, speak a little bigger, like just experiment with that because you'll see. Also, focus on one thing at a time. Kind of like when somebody tells you to pat your belly and tap your head and rub your belly at the same time. I mean, then say the alphabet backwards, Z, X, it's kind of a lot. But if you think of that process I showed you, one step at a time. So let's say this month we're going to focus on cameras. We're going to learn all about exposure and composition and best lenses. And then next week we're going to focus on on-camera talent, like acting classes, how to present yourself, what the camera, all that stuff. You can really just compartmentalize, and I think it makes it super fun and easy. Also, oh, this is just a silly photo. Korea. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw in a few here and there. Also, I recommend you take your camera with you everywhere, because honestly, the one time that you don't bring your camera with you, you're going to be angry at yourself because something cool is going to happen. You're going to meet a celebrity. Somebody you know is going to take you on a private boat, or I don't know. Who knows what will happen? But you'll never know. I was actually in Korea and I brought my camera to this cool, like, old traditional village. And I walked by and there was this crazy store called the Hanbok Experience. And I could actually rent a Korean hanbok and wander around and do great Instagram photos. So it was a great little discovery that if I didn't have my camera, it wouldn't nearly have been quite as exciting. Also, when I was recently in New York, I was actually on a layover. I went to my friend's house and boom, he had this amazing view of New York City. What? Guys, I was just floored at how beautiful this was. And of course, I brought my tripod and my camera. Never know what's going to happen. And when that moment happens, you're ready. You're ready for anything. Okay. So another thing with vlogging is I recommend you go with the flow. This seems kind of easy for some people. It's really hard for some of us planners, but you just never know. Like, you never know if you're going to bump into a bunch of cattle in the road and you're not going to be able to go through. Oh my gosh. On this road trip, my car even started falling apart. Like, the underbelly was like dragging on this dirt road and it kept getting muddy and like heavier. And it was slowing me down. You just never know. Things happen with vlogging. So you just got to roll with the punches. This story I was sharing is a beautiful day in Colorado where I thought I would show everyone this fantastic lake where you can go stand up paddleboarding, and it turned out to be the rainstorm of a lifetime with the darkest ugly clouds. So again, I just had to roll with the punches, and I turned that drama of the weather into my vlog. So you can watch that on my YouTube at TravelingJules. It's a whole thing. Also, okay, so I want to talk about must-have gear, because the story is one thing, but knowing how to communicate your story in cameras is kind of a whole other skill, right? You've got a lot to learn. So this is me. I normally love cameras. I have a lot of cameras, tons and tons of cameras. I do not bring all these with me when I'm travel vlogging because I can't carry it. It's just way too crazy. So what I do is, I pare down and I go with the essentials. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so you can start out with your phone. But the downside with your phone is that you have limited battery, limited storage. You can't just swap out the memory cards, right? If you run out. That always happens to me at the worst moments. So, something small and lightweight, a real camera, you've got endless creative control. You've got like so many different options with all the things. You can accessorize it to death. So I recommend, I'm definitely more heavy on the camera side just because there's just so much more creativity there. Now, when I'm traveling, when you carry around like a small handheld camera like this, you'll notice you get around town pretty easy. Nobody really stops you, bothers you. I don't know. They might think you're a tourist, but not really a whole lot. But oh my gosh, if I run around with my cinema camera, and this one's a teeny one, it's actually super wonderful. It's the C70. I still get a lot of looks. Like my boom mic, my shotgun is just a little bit bigger, and people look at you and they're like, "Oh, what's going on? There's a film crew here," or da da da. And I think, yeah, that helps sometimes. If I want to get access, it's good to look professional, and especially if someone's paying me the big bucks, I want to look like I know what I'm doing. But when I'm vlogging, sometimes I don't really want to get noticed, so I like to kind of have a little less stuff sometimes. And I think that works better for vlogging. Now, here's a silly photo. This was me vlogging in, oh my God, 2012, it says. Okay, so this is the hard way. I mean, at that time, I didn't have a flip screen. I didn't have autofocus. I think I have a light on top of my camera and a microphone. I mean, and it was crazy heavy. It wasn't even a wide angle lens. I mean, this is like what not to do. But I love this photo because it shows how far I've gone. And man, I was determined. Like I really wanted to vlog because I was willing to make it work, right? Now things are a lot easier. It's so much easier to get that shot.
Got the shot.
Aw. I stole my line. But here are some of the basics that we're going to talk about. So we need a camera, obviously. We're going to talk about support, audio, we need light, and location. So let's jump in here. Okay, so location. Where you are is going to really change your vlogging experience. Like in this restaurant scene, I'm in a busy food hall. There's people on cell phones. There's just conversation. There might even be music, like Beyonce blasting. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff going on in that photo. Now, but like imagine you're at home. Oh my gosh, so much easier. You can just close the door. No dogs, no kids. It's all to yourself. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is maybe the air conditioning comes on and it messes your sound up like a little bit, but it's pretty controlled. You have lots of privacy. Now, if you're somewhere like this, like outdoors, a lot of things can change your vlogging. Like, I mean, big trucks can come by. Like traffic is super noisy. It could be windy. You got the sun. Sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. So just a lot of things to think about with where you're choosing to vlog. And, there are tricks and tips to getting around all of that. But think about that when you're setting yourself up for success. Do you want to be in a public, crowded place? A lot of people tell me they get nervous vlogging in front of other people. Well, hey, just go around the corner and vlog where no one is and get used to it, get comfortable. You grow some thick skin, but you can set yourself up for a good situation where you're not going to get flustered and mess up and need to start over and then quit. Practice. I promise it'll just ease into it. You don't have to be in the middle of New York City vlogging with everybody watching. You can hide around the corner. Also, when it comes to cameras now, thinking about I want to show you 3 cameras for vlogging that you really might be interested in. The Canon G7 Mark III, the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, and the Canon EOS R. I'm just going to give you a quick tour, but also I know you guys might be curious. These are the cameras I'm actually using behind the scenes, so you can kind of get a sneak peek on what's happening over here. Wait, let's see. I think this guy, did he turn off? Hello. Okay, let's go back to oops. I was like, let's go back to this slide real quick. I think I ran out of battery. Maybe that's what happened. Let's check. Yes, that's it. There we go. Okay. I had to hide for a second so I could show you. So I have this little camera set up over here, which is kind of a weird shot. Hello. And then this one back here, I should show you, know what? I should show you. Let me show you behind the scenes here. I think this is fun. Okay, this is my little teleprompter, but back there is the R. So I'm shooting with it mirrorless. And then I could, you know what I could do? I could show you this camera right here. So here's a quick preview of what you're about to see. Okay, so let me show you a few of my favorite cameras for vlogging. I mean, to start, the Canon G7X Mark III is a great, compact, portable, like we've got the flip screen necessity, gotta have a flip screen. You also have a microphone jack, which is super rare for a camera of this size and price to have access to adding a microphone. And also what I love about this camera is it has a Wi-Fi button, so you can easily connect to Wi-Fi, and I'll show you that in a moment. But something that you might be curious about is, you know, you've got to have a microphone. So I recommend, if you want to buy some kind of like third-party attachment, it can kind of go like so. Yeah. Also, another vlogging camera that you might love, and you've seen me use this in this presentation, is the M50, which is a famous webcam right now too. Like everybody wants one for streaming. And I was thinking about putting this over here if I didn't need it right now. But again, you have the microphone jack, and this flip screen actually goes to the side. So what's nice about that is you can also put a microphone on the top, and the flip screen is not in the way of, like the microphone's not in the way of the flip screen when it goes right above. But it has a cold shoe right there, which is really helpful if you wanted to add a microphone. Most of them have kind of like a shoe mount right here. And then you still, sorry, super close. Then you can add your microphone like that. But something like this, I really love because you can actually change lenses. So, you know, if you decide, okay, I don't want the standard lens, the lens that everybody loves right now is the 11 to 22. Now this lens is, sorry, it's getting dark in here. This lens is the perfect lens for vlogging because it's so wide. So let me show you, like this combo, when you completely make it as wide as possible, I'm getting out all the toys, I'm so excited, is like, I think I can plug this guy in here and show you what I'm seeing. Yes, all right. So vlogging with the M50 Mark II, is it this one? Yes, oh hi. There we go. Okay, so this is the wide angle. Look how cool it is. And what I love about it is that this camera has an auto mode so that you can record video automatically. Like it'll do all the adjustments automatically, or manual, but you can choose. So it makes life so easy. Also with vlogging, I want to show you a few tricks. Like I definitely enjoy having a selfie stick. And when I'm vlogging, I almost always, I don't know, my arms are not very long. So I think the selfie stick just gets me a little bit farther away. And a selfie stick like this one has a ball head. So I can actually adjust the angle at which the camera, oops, I lost the microphone, the angle at which the camera is sitting. So there we go. Oh, hi, we got a fade there. I'm going fast, so I didn't plug everything in perfectly. Okay, here we go. So, okay, so this is the M50. There we go. Uh-oh, see, I'm losing battery. All right, info. Oops, info. This is my live demo. Okay, when you're vlogging, eye level, you wanna look at the camera, and if it's too low or too high, it's not very flattering. So try to get eye level with any people, especially animals or kids. Sit down or get on your knees just so that you can be at eye level. And you want to look into the camera. You don't want to look at the lens at yourself. I know it's so hard. You want to always look at yourself, but try to look into the camera, and I promise it will go much better. I'm losing, oops, oh, there we go. It says change battery pack. So I literally just made it. It was perfect timing. I want to show you a quick excitement on this camera. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Vloggers, prepare to meet your match. This is the Canon EOS M50. Hey guys, I'm travel vlogger Juliana Broste,
You already know who I am. Okay, so I want to show you this. This is the must-have list for vlogging. You want to have a flip screen. You've got to have a microphone jack. You've got to have a cold shoe, a headphone jack, autofocus, stabilization, wide-angle lens, and a wireless remote. These are just kind of my quick and dirty kind of things that I'm looking for in my favorite vlogging cameras. And that's why these are sort of my winners, my faves when it comes to vlogging. Let me show you a little me in action with the tilt, the very angled tilt screen.
All right, so 00 flour and semolina together. So I do 5 parts of flour, 1 semolina. La Fontana. Pasta need to be super yellow. A lot of egg yolks, very important. I'm using 20 egg yolks. Work it.
So we're just incorporating the flour and the eggs.
Boom.
It looks so easy when he did it.
There we go. Fun, huh? You've got to have this, you've got to just like be able to move and shake, and like any camera, it's like, high, you're low, you're side, you got all this flexibility right at you. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you when I am vlogging, so, too many things out here, is that you want to point your face at the light. So you find like, where's the window, where's the sun, and that will be the direction of where you want to take it, okay? So when you're talking about finding your light, when it's the middle of the day, you see tons of shadows. It doesn't make you look so good. I think most of you guys are photographers here. You might notice it's challenging. And your face, you want to point your face at the light. I'm doing the very best that I can in this photo, but there's only so far, you can only do so much when the sun is there and you've got such a shadow under my chin and a huge shadow under my helmet. Like, oh my gosh, it's challenging, but so interesting. Now, if you come out, say golden hour, look at my face, like, look how like even the sun is, and it's a little bit gold. So it just makes you warm and look so cute and happy, right? Just a little better. Cloudy, this is actually my favorite light for faces because it's just, everybody looks good when it's cloudy because there's not a lot of harsh shadows, right? So anyway, I think that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're out there. Like, I mean, you want to look good. And when I'm vlogging, say at night, this picture, I love this picture because I'm actually, you wouldn't know, but I'm standing right in front of the biggest light, kind of like a street lamp, and really close so that I get some light on my face so that I can actually match the background of this, this detail. So it's just so interesting. Now, a lot of people ask, what do I say? What should I say when I'm vlogging? And honestly, you want to say information, but you want to offer emotion. So you want to say something I like to share. I mean, yes, I start out with all these facts, like shot lists. I put all these things down that I might want to learn or might want to say or share, like facts that I've learned or interesting key points. But I also like to say what's called a wild line. And the wild line would be like that comment. It would be like, oh, brr, it's cold out here, or it would be, gee whiz, that's a huge horse. Or whatever, those kind of comments that you would actually say to your friends. Those are so great. They're just the best sound bites to have that really bring viewers into your video, and it makes it feel like they are part of this. So if you just stand there and newscaster it up and just say facts the whole time, it becomes less intimate, less interesting. It draws the viewers in only to a certain level. But when you can offer those interesting comments like, oh, wow, that's a beautiful dress, or, oh, this food is super spicy, I'm sweating, right? Like that's not necessarily in the script, but it's nice detail to add to really kind of show off what's going on. I also want to mention too, like I showed you the selfie stick, but also you might be curious about other framing. You definitely want to consider like not just showing your face up close, but a little bit farther away. I will actually put my camera on a bench or on the ground and walk by just to get a cool wide shot. Or I'm pretty picky, so I love to have a tripod so that I can set up the shot just the way that I like it, and then kind of like breeze on by. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can compose the shot, but those are some of my must-have tools for vlogging that you should probably consider. Now, I know we're running just a little over time, but I want to give you just a couple last little tips. I do love on these cameras, when I use a tripod, this is my favorite tool, the Canon Camera Connect app. Oh my gosh. So don't go anywhere. I want to show you this. So I actually set up my camera right now, the one I showed you, to show you how this works. So I have the Canon Camera Connect app on my phone, and you can actually, here it is. Oh, here it is. There it is. Okay. You can actually see yourself in the picture when you're using a tripod. This is essential, right? I can actually change the orientation of, oops, I hit it. Change the orientation. Oops, I'm upside down. There we go. There. Now it's this way. Can change the orientation based on how you want to hold the phone. You can, whoops, we don't need that. You can, there we go. There's all these settings. So I can actually adjust exposure. Like right now I have this set up on auto ISO because I'm one-man banding back here. I can't do everything. So I could make it like crazy bright. And then you would see in this camera, hi. But isn't that great? I have control of the camera from over here, and I showed you my camera is way over there. It's hard to reach. So this is my favorite tool. And I've actually taken so many pictures with this tool, like this one. This is, if you're gonna, I love having a camera that does video and photos, because I can walk away with cool thumbnails for YouTube or just have photos for Instagram. And I actually have my phone on the ledge of the pool, and I hit the button and I like set it to 10 second self timer and then like dive in the pool, swim, 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 snap. So anyway, there's always like a success moment. And I think these challenging ones are pretty fun to explore and see what you can do with. I've also taken selfies like this at the top of Whistler, looking over Flute Bowl. What a beautiful vista. Isn't that gorgeous? And so that's it. And finally, I want to talk to you my last tip is just keep it moving, guys. Keep it moving. Like, again, moving your feet, moving the shot. For example, here I'm laying on the ground. I'm using a tripod. I mean, I'm never stationary in the same place for more than 10 seconds. Here I'm actually snowboarding, like bringing you with me. So I'm on the move, and even on the chairlift, right? So I'm taking you in my pocket with me on all these adventures. When you're shooting something that's not so exciting, create the action. So for example, like I have this cool pink drink, and if I set it down and let's say we were filming this pink drink, I mean, it's kind of boring. It's just sitting there. But if I picked it up and put it down, that's action. You actually see something happening. You get to see it leave and come back. And that seems like such a simple thing, but it will make your vlogs move. It's going to change everything if you can do that. One other thing I want to show you before we wrap up is vlogging with time lapse. This is one of my favorite features within these cameras, is that time lapses, you used to have to take thousands of pictures, come home, assemble it in an edit. It's definitely a time suck. But when you're vlogging, you sometimes have this great artistic vision, but you don't want to invest all that time when you could be doing other stuff, right? So the time-lapse feature within the camera, oh my gosh, it's a lifesaver. I love it. I can't speak highly enough because it's so much fun to offer something like a little bit different. than that. Last couple things I wanted to mention is point of view. When you're vlogging, you definitely get a chance to do some fun stuff like this, like when you can have someone take a photo and then you get to photo what you see. For vlogging, I feel like this is the element, like you see yourself, you see what you see. You see yourself, you see what you see, right? A little point of view there. So yeah, lots of fun, creative ways to consider. And here's the thing. If you mess up, you can always fix it in post. They say that and people hate you when they work in post. They're like, we don't want to fix that. But don't be afraid to try things when you're out there shooting, because you can if you don't have time to do it, you know, sometimes, not always, you can tell the story. You can kind of fix it in post a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, my last tip for you is this. Be you. The fun part about vlogging is that you are not specifically like a newscaster, or you don't have to be something specific like a character. Like, we get to see you doing you, right? There's no one like you. So anyway, I want you guys to have fun. I mean, I like adventure. I like unique, off the beaten path things, like this Carhenge art exhibit in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. It's Alliance, Nebraska. It's so cool. I love like adventures, like crazy things, like climbing on the side of the mountain in Austria. So no matter what, I love to do kind of fun adventures, and you too, whatever that might be, whether it's food, whether it's all about cars or interesting watches, whatever that could be. As a vlogger, you get to define the niche that you're telling stories about, and then you add your own flavor and tell stories from your point of view. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know we were running a little bit over. I had a couple technical glitches, but you guys are the best for hanging in. I know that there are some questions here in the chat too, so I'm gonna hang out for a minute. If there's anything that someone is dying to ask me about, I am here. Maria, thank you so much for the compliment. She says, you are such a good speaker. Thank you. I'm not perfect, but I appreciate the feedback so much. And I wanted to share with you also, this is my business card. If you want to reach me or find me anywhere, that's where you can find me. TravelingJules.com. And remember, the Video Hustle is the place where I put all my camera tricks and tips and stuff. So if anybody wants to know, like, what cameras do you love, or oops, I'm so bad at this. What cameras do you love, or you know, what's this dongle thing that I saw you using, or whatever. That's all the questions. Oh, you know what, I lied to you. I didn't show you my third camera. Well, I kind of did. It's behind there. I actually realized that this is my third camera that I like, which is the EOS R. This is actually the R5. Don't tell. The R is back there, but the R is awesome because it's a full frame camera. You can use EF lenses. I like that inside there's a little, let's see, here we go. There's a little cover, so you're not gonna mess up the sensor when you're changing lenses. So that's a neat little extra feature. And you still have the Wi-Fi, you still have the auto focus, and I mean, it's just, and you have the necessary LCD flip screen. The other thing that this camera has is it has a, here we go. It has this headphone jack. So you can actually, like a professional, listen to the audio. Hey, I should take my own advice. You can listen to the audio as you're recording to make sure it's working. Because, oh my gosh, so many times, here, I'll show you on this camera. So many times I have literally had this jack almost plugged in. Like, it looked like it was plugged in. I thought it was plugged in, but turns out it wasn't quite plugged in all the way. And then you get like this fuzzy kind of crackle. You're not actually getting good sound. I think you guys experienced this earlier in my talk. You're like, Jules, we can't hear you. And it's because I'm not listening. I should have put the headphones in, but if I'm listening, I should be able to hear myself. So I think I just skipped a step by not having headphones in. So if anybody learned anything from this presentation, it is find your AirPods and listen. So anyways, this has been so much fun. I'm really charmed that you guys wanted to come and learn about vlogging at the end of the day on National Camera Day. What a fun day. We've still have one session or two sessions going on right now. The one about like shooting cars and fast. And I hope you enjoyed some of the other sessions today. I really loved the one on mindfulness this morning. It was a good memory, like, oh yeah, we do all these great things. And oh yeah, this part is hard. And so I thought it was super real. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Should I sneak off? I'm not sure, Kenan, if you want to kick me out, but I'm here if anyone has questions. Let's see. And I'm going back to, some people asked about the lenses, and we had to fly fast, but hopefully you learned some things today. Let's see. Yes, just sound. All right, cool. So not too many questions, which is good. You guys are getting it on the first try. Super. All right. Well, I don't want to sneak off now, but I think we have to say so long. So thank you, everyone. Oh, we have a question. Question coming. Okay. Jane says, what do you use for video editing software? Good question. For video editing, the best tool that I have found for starting is going to be Adobe Premiere Rush, which is a really nice kind of, I don't know, easy version, introductory version of editing. And you can get it and edit videos on your phone. So if you are taking videos from your Canon camera to directly Wi-Fi it to your phone, then you can edit it on your phone. And there's also a companion program on the computer that you can keep editing on the computer. I am experienced and I've been editing my whole life. I'm actually certified, and I love the big brother of that, which is Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro. And that one has a lot of details. I love it because there's panels. So after you get your initial edit in, there are kind of like specialty panels where people used to hire a specific colorist and an audio sweetener and a graphics person. And as a solo content creator, I can do all of that in the one program with just, a flip of a tab. So I find it a really nice tool for the whole picture from start to finish. And they also have these little buttons at the top of the screen where you literally like move from like workspace to workspace. So you start with like assembling, organizing, and then it moves into editing, and then it moves into color, and then it moves into audio. So it's kind of pushing you along the continuum for editing. Great question, Jane. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something about my favorite camera gear, and I hope you have confidence to go out and vlog for yourself, because there's so many amazing stories that we can only hear from your point of view. So please tag me or send me a video too if you want to show. I actually love to do portfolio reviews. And so anyway, I'm excited to see your work. Thank you.